Let's show you what Bee's doing right now. She's like getting a headache. Welcome to EVTV for Monday, December 2nd. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Did you have a good holiday?
I did.
Because we didn't have all of our news and stuff together, because it's been a week that we've been off, we're going to focus heavily on the ACT today, which is a topic that we haven't talked about very much on the show this year, but we did have one very important piece of information for those of you interested in powerlifting. The powerlifting tryouts start tomorrow on Tuesday, and then they're also holding tryouts on Thursday. You can pick the day you would like to come try out. Those tryouts will begin immediately after the bell rings after school. So when the bell rings at 2:45, 2:50, you can head back to the football weight room area, and that's where we'll have powerlifting tryouts. So again, tomorrow and Thursday, you have to have a current physical. So if you've already got one in Dragonfly, that's great. It's just got to be an updated current physical. Go chat with Coach O'Neill if you have any questions. He's down on A Hall. Okay, so let's get to the ACT in just a second. We also wanted to let you know, those of you interested in career tech next year, those applications are going to be due in January this year, much earlier than in the past, and they're having an open house this week. So we sat down with Miss Riley to chat about that a few days ago.
Good morning, Eagle family. I'm here to do a counselor catch-up this morning. I want to talk to you about the CTC application. The CTC application is now open until January the 31st. We will have a representative here from the CTC Center that will have a lunch table set up in the Commons to answer any questions you may have about CTC. There are two locations. We have CTC East, which is out at Olive Branch. We have CTC West, which is here in Horn Lake. Now, some may be asking, what programs do they offer? So at the West Campus, which is here in Horn Lake, they have the welding program, digital media, technology, culinary arts, automotive, construction, engineering, and information technology. Now, out at the CTC East Campus, which is in Olive Branch, they have the educator preparation program, logistics and supply chain, law enforcement, fire safety, and advanced manufacturing. Starting next year, they will have a business marketing and finance program and a health science program at both the East and West campuses. If you have any questions, please stop and see your counselor. Again, the application deadline is January 31st. You have to have teacher recommendation, and all the credentials that you would need will be listed in the application. The representative will be here December the 3rd in the Commons. Thank you.
All right, now we want to talk about the ACT. Students, this is very important information. How many times have you taken the ACT?
Probably like once.
Once. We need you to take the ACT more times than B has taken here. So check this information out. All right, today we are talking ACT. Everything ACT. Many of you have only been taking the ACT when it is offered here at school, and we would like to encourage you to take the ACT when it is offered on Saturdays, because every time you take the ACT, statistically, you will improve your score by a small percent. So you want to take it as many times as possible, because the ACT is not just some score floating out in the ether that doesn't matter. Every time you increase that score, it's going to potentially get you more money and more opportunity. Let me say that again, more money and more opportunity. So we're going to talk today a little bit about what those opportunities are, because many of you are like, Mr. Lewis, y'all keep talking about the ACT. I don't even care. I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? The ACT is the test that colleges use to offer you scholarship money and opportunities. So tell us a little bit about some of the opportunities that ACT scores can give you with some of the colleges around here.
At Mississippi Valley State University, if you have an ACT score of 24, it covers full tuition, room, board, and a $500 book stipend.
That's everything.
That's everything.
Okay, and Northwest also gives some pretty decent scholarship money.
Decent scholarships as well. I think 2021 is like partial with a GPA of a 3.0.
Okay, all very attainable for you students. Now, here's the other thing. Some of you don't want to pay for the ACT, and that might be the sticking point for some of you, because the test does cost a little bit of money. But we have options for students to get waivers.
Yes.
So explain that, because we haven't talked about that much this year.
Okay, so juniors and seniors, you're allowed 2 waivers. 2 waivers your junior year, 2 waivers your senior year.
So 4 free chances.
4 free chances. Actually, more than that, because the district offers one your junior year and your senior year as well.
So 6 free opportunities for the test, without a doubt. Now, how do they get the waivers, Miss Riley?
Come to the counselor's office and see Miss Nicole.
Okay, and it's not a hard process. So take the time to come and get it done, because that one Saturday out of your time could potentially pay off major. Because just assume that you get a great scholarship because of that ACT, and then you get a fantastic job that pays you $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 more a year than you would have if you had not had that opportunity. So there's a lot riding on this. I don't want to make you nervous, but there's a lot riding on this, so you need to start handling your business. Now, you have some options for students, Ms. Thompson, to remediate and get better at the ACT.
Yes, and I also want to piggyback on what you were saying. Pulling from my coaching days, if you go to the free throw line and you got to make 2 free throws, you make 1, but if you go to the free throw line 10 times, chances are you're going to make a whole lot more shots. So the ACT test is no different. You want to go to that free throw line and make as many makes as you possibly can, but not as much pressure just in case you don't make a shot. So always take advantage. And even to add it on hers, you take it your sophomore year too. So we're talking 7 times, as long as you're diligent in doing the work to get it.
And you can take it way more than 7 times. It just costs you a little bit of money. So every time it's off, realistically, by the time you're a sophomore, you should start signing up to take it every single time it's offered.
And some freshmen, I've had freshmen in the past to make a 32 their freshman year. We've currently got one sitting on a 28 because they are serious and they know it's an investment. And I tell students all the time, invest in yourself. As much money as they spend on that snack card, put a little back and get you ready to take another ACT.
And ask your mom. I cannot imagine. I don't know that I've ever met a mom who would not give you the money for the ACT. Your parents know how important this is as well.
Absolutely. But as far as remediation, that's kind of my area. I want to make sure you get everything you need and some. And even with that said, if they sign up for what Miss Riley was talking about, those free vouchers in order to take the test for free, it's going to come a boatload of emails that's going to say, do this remediation for free. And it's good stuff. I mean, it lets you know that if I'm sitting on a 16 and I want to get to a 17, what do I need to work on? We have great coaches in the building. Miss Sarton, Miss Gifford, Mr. Hoffman is very versed in it. We've also got a lot of our English teachers who went through the ACT prep course. We've got a lot of math teachers. I mean, they've sat in a room for hours just learning on how to make all of our students better at this ACT thing. So a lot of it is just reaching out to those teachers, your math teacher, your English teacher, and getting some extra help, saying during school or after school. I try to work it out, however it's going to be convenient. But actually, yes. And then worst case scenario, come to me. And not worst case, best case. I'm going to get you taken care of. Miss Thompson, I need my math score to improve. I got you. So don't hesitate to, if there's an area that you want to get better in, do not hesitate to reach out, because we have those remediations. Of course, the boot camps come, but we've also shifted those to where students have to be proactive. If you want to be better in this certain area, let me know. And the day before, or the Friday before you take your school-wide test, we got you covered. But once again, as we're preaching, more, just come, and we're going to get you taken care of.
Okay, and there are a lot of strategies that you can help students with too, tips for how to take the test and tricks really to get you a better score on the test.
Yes, because every time I work with a student, one of the first things I tell them, especially when you deal with areas like biology, they don't care, not biology, but science. They don't care how much biology you learn. It's actually, can you take the ACT test of it all? And you learn how to look at the graphs, and you learn how to read the graphs. So it really doesn't matter how much science you know. When you get to the math part, they don't want to know what your grade was in algebra. They don't want to know how well you can solve a two-step equation. They want to know, can you get that answer? Keep on moving and finish at a high score. So yes, there are a lot of strategies that students need to be aware of. I think one of Mr. Hoffman's that really sticks to the student is pick that letter of the day, because in the past they've probably heard pick C. It's not all about C. So just definitely come on in, get some of that information. That's only going to help you to attain that score, because like you said, we want you going to school. There are students who are living in the nicest dorms because they have taken care of their business on the ACT.
There are students who have got such high scores on the ACT that the colleges are paying them to be there. Not only is all of college covered, books covered, apartment covered, there's so much money left that you get a refund check every semester, and you could go buy yourself something nice with it.
And those aren't $10 checks or $20 checks.
They're very, very, very large checks.
$1,000 checks on some occasions. So absolutely.
All right. And then also we do have the Get to College Center, which is located in South Haven, and that is open for students. That's a free resource for you to use. They can give you lots of help on the ACT, and they can answer lots of questions as well. It's right over by DeSoto Central High School. Very easy to get into that office complex. You can give them a call. They have lots of resources. Again, free. That's a free resource as well. Miss Riley, anything else you'd like to add to this?
I think I've covered it all.
All right. You need to sign up for the ACT.
If you want to be featured on that wall, a lot of y'all have been asking about that wall. English 19, Math 22.
And that's college and career ready. Right. And the reason why that is super important, because as we're talking about ways to get money, one way you lose money when you go to college is by having to take remediation classes. And you don't want to go pay for a class that if you just would have took the right classes in high school, or if you just would have got the right ACT score, you would not need to take those classes. So very important that you use those target dates that she gave, or those target numbers that she gave you, so that you're not losing money when you go to college. Right. Also, they want to be able to get out of school early on their senior year. And those numbers are a little bit lower, right? But I want to keep those goals high. So no need to share those numbers. But absolutely use those targets so that you're not losing money whenever you go to college, and you can get out of class early whenever your senior year comes up.
We will put all of the upcoming ACT dates at the end of today's show so that you can check that out and then be prepared. Again, come down here and get those waivers. Start signing up today. All right, so that's some really fantastic information about the ACT. B is going to be signing up to take the ACT again. She is. We'll walk her down there and make sure that she signs up today.
This week's feature vocabulary words are coherent, compassion, and compensate. Coherent. logical, and consistent. Compassion, concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. Compensate, make up for something unwelcome or unpleasant by exerting an opposite force or effect.
That's it for today's episode here at Horn Lake. We are better students.
Always growing and expecting more.
Could you do that with just
Stay
a little
tuned for your
more?
lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.
You see that? She didn't even want to let me have a chance to talk. She's just like, get it over with, bounce out. We'll see you tomorrow.